Kira, when you're ready, off you go.
Hello, my name is Kira Hibbert and I'm here to present the magazine I've created. I chose to create an alternative rock and indie magazine that follows the same genre and subject line as the renowned NME magazine. I chose this genre and style as it seems to be getting progressively more popular as time and fashion changes. The name of my magazine, Air, is an abbreviation for Alternative Indian Rock. I think this name is perfect for my magazine and masthead because it links to the genre and running theme, allowing it to flow. The verbal code Air connotes the genre of the magazine. This is essential in how it is portrayed because it shows that I am consistent throughout the magazine with the genre and its subjects, and that it will solidly be about the specified genres. The name suits my magazine because I am running along the same line as NME masthead and a theme which is 3 letters and it is an abbreviation in itself. This was one of my first generation of ideas that I came up with for my magazine. As you can see from my mind map, I had a few ideas to pick from. I chose Air because I thought it was more suited to my magazine that I wished to create, and I thought that it seemed more professional due to the abbreviation fitting the genre perfectly. The mind map enabled me to come up with the basic structure I needed for my magazine, such as frequency of release, price, logo and colour scheme. Once I had a clearer idea of what sort of magazine I wished to create, I made a mood board to support the genre and the kind of subjects and themes my magazine would run through, follow and include. I chose these images because they represent the genre of the magazine I want to produce and that I am copying, which is NME. The genres that I tried to match pictures with are indie, rock and alternative. By experience of being a target audience myself to NME magazine, I used my experience and knowledge to choose appropriate images that suits all 3 genres and the magazine itself. Because I used NME as a guide to create my magazine, I have the same general statistics as it. NME targets mainly men aged between 17 to 30. It also appeals to people with an interest in new music, an artist, or people in a band. So with Air, I want to have a similar, if not the same, target audience and subjects buying and having an interest in my magazine and other rival magazines such as Q and Kerrang. The similarities between NME magazine and my very own will not differ that much in design or format. I'll be using a similar font style because they are eye-catching and stand out. The font style links into my chosen genre of indie, rock and alternative because it's bold and out there, which makes it stand out from the others and connotes its individuality. The socio-demographic groups in my magazine are between C1 and E, as they mostly all have jobs who can spend their spare income on my magazine. Also because Air isn't an upper class kind of magazine, and neither are the people featured in it, so stereotypically you would associate this kind of magazine in the DE category. This is partly because teenagers are categorised in these groups. Air magazine would come under the survivors and explorers hierarchy. This is because you buy an Air magazine and you know full well that they will cover everything you need to know about the subjects of an interview and who are featured in the magazine. Air magazine would also come under explorers because they are influenced by social change, and this could attract explorers because they cover past, present and future music, allowing the audience of explorers to find out everything they need on specific bands and upcoming occasions. In my magazine, the audience will learn information about the bands involved and written about inside that they may not know on a day-to-day business. They will also learn what sort of people the band members can be and their values. They may even get to know them on a different personal level because they may have the same issues as one of the audience, as the specified people, and they may look up to them out of admiration. The spending power of my audience will be medium to low disposable income. This is because not all of my target audience are young, and some of them are more aware of how to spend their money and have relatively good jobs, allowing them to spend their money on my magazine. Air is my first proposal of magazine design. I think that generally quite small and not as mainstream. Most will be signed to small record labels or perhaps not even signed at all. To make my magazine stand out and fit my target audience's needs, I'll be using bold, bright colours that fit the genre and don't allow my magazine to deviate away from being alternative yet simple. I will do this by making a statement via using block colourings of red, black and white and using yellows and blues to highlight key points of information. To connect with my audience and to provide for their needs and interests, I'll make my magazine as bold. I will make sure my magazine is bold and stands out to put my magazine into the best position to make it known. I will do this through the textiles and image and page layout, highlighting important information in bright block colours. There will not be too much writing but enough to sustain the audience's attention and answer questions and information queries. The cost of a standard NME magazine is between £2.20 and £5.99. My magazine will cost £2.99 on a weekly release basis. I think this will be a relatively good price for my magazine as it offers basically everything NME magazine or Kerrang does. Just it's not professionally published or as known have a high price put on it, so my audience may not be willing to pay too much for something that's not as familiar but new. To create my magazine, I will be using Adobe Workshop CS5 software and Photoshop for image manipulation. This is to ensure that I get the highest quality standard and so that it looks professional as possible. I'll be creating 64 pages of my magazine, the front cover and the double page spread. These will be all A4 sized and 8.5 inches in width and 11.2 inches in height. I got a quote for my magazine on a weekly basis of 1,000 copies, which would cost me around £2,618.80 to produce, which on a monthly basis will cost me £10,475 to produce nationwide and £52,000 per year. I thought that I would start with a relatively low production number of 1,000 to start off with, in case my magazine doesn't take off as well as I expect it to, and if there's any high demand from my target audience and they like my magazine, I can think about producing more and gradually getting bigger over time. I'll be making a small profit of 30p per issue and a yearly profit of £19,240. For the production of my magazine, I need to think about all the costs I will need to pay out for. This includes computers and software, employees, editors and publishing. For my employees, I will need editors and a deputy editor. The lowest payment allowed is £15,000, but editors can earn up to £25,000 to £40,000 per year. To create my magazine, I'll be using MacBook Pros by Apple. I'll need 12 of these for each employee, and this will cost me around £1,100. This will sustain the process of my magazine, including the software I'll be using, which is Adobe Suite Creative Cloud. For the amount of software needed on a yearly basis, it will cost me around £2,292 to sustain each computer.
Just going to pause you there a sec.